everyone. Thanks for tuning into Sims Workshop. I hope you're all having a wonderful day. So today we're going to be reviewing The 12 by Joey Graceffa? Graceffa? Hopefully I pronounced that right. I probably didn't. I probably butchered it. So this is a young adult fantasy. It was a gift to me from the publisher. So once again, huge thank you to the publisher for handing me and sending me this arc. I really enjoyed it, to be perfectly honest. What really drew me to the book itself was the zodiac. First of all, I love anything witchy. That tracks. And I love anything, you know, that seems like unique and kind of new agey in a way. Again, that tracks. So I went into this book trying not to get my hopes up, because usually lately I've been like, oh yeah, I'm gonna love this book, and then I'm like somewhat disappointed. So I was trying to like not get my hopes up about this book. I'm like, oh, let me just go in like grain of salt, right? Not disappointed at all. Totally lived up to what I thought it was going to be. In fact, it even caught me off guard a couple times. So I really like when a book catches me off guard. So basically the book of premise is it follows twin sisters, Ophelia and Serena, and they were born literally on the cusp of midnight. One was born before midnight, the second one was born after midnight. So their signs are different. You've got Ophelia, she's a Pisces, and then you have her twin sister Serena, who is an Aries. Now, they're witches, but they don't discover that they're witches. They have been orphaned, you know, their mom left them, and so they're living in an orphanage that is kind of, it's horrible, you know, it really is a horrible, abusive place, right? And they know they kind of have some magic, but they think it's like unique, like, oh yeah, I snap my fingers and I can make fire. So they think that their witchiness is just like a happy accident. Come to find out that they are not alone in the world. There is actually a coven of witches, and everyone is under a certain astrological sign, and the powers that you have are tied to your astrological sign. And it's really unique to see just the attributes of, I'm a Virgo, just the attributes of the zodiac sign and how they manifest magically. You know, you're seeing the magic come alive, so to speak. And it's very, you know, in a very literal sense. And I really enjoyed that. I thought it was very unique to have something, you know, like witches. Yeah, but you're not just typical witches of spell casting. Is there spell casting in the book? Of course, they're witches. But their magic is inherent and it is tied to their zodiac sign. Now, they discover they're witches, right? They were almost killed by a dark witch right at the beginning of the book. Turns out, dark witches, in order to live, they have to siphon the life/magic from, like, regular witches. It's a really, really good, interesting story. It was very fast-paced. I like the dual POV of Serena and Ophelia. I like the dichotomy between the twin sisters, how they are very much twin sisters, but their own individual selves. And they balance each other out. And again, they very much are the attributes. You know, they very much embody being a Pisces and being an Aries. And I like that. You know, I really, really enjoyed that aspect of the story. There's a lot of foreshadowing. However, there's also a lot of misdirection in the book. So the way the book ended was not the way I thought it was going to go at all. And that really, really caught me off guard. I was like, oh, well, here's a plot twist I didn't see coming. Should have. Like, in hindsight, if you ignore the misdirection, it seems fairly obvious, you know? In hindsight, I'm just like, man, I should have seen the signs. But the misdirection is used in such a really good way that it just you know, you're just like, you're caught off guard. But I love that with storytelling. I like when, in hindsight, yeah, it seems obvious, but as you're reading it, you're so cued in on these other aspects of the story that you miss all the signs because the misdirection is just used in such a really good way that it doesn't even register that it's misdirection. It's just very good plot development. It's very good character development. It's very good pacing, very good atmosphere. And going back and forth between the two sisters and seeing them develop in their own way was just very well done. You know, it was a well done story. I just have to say, I mean, Niobe in her, you know, because she's like the coven, you know, matriarch, head of the coven. I will say she makes a lot of bad decisions. I don't really like her. I understand why she made the decisions she made. However, a lot of them were grounded in her being a little self-righteous and a little self-involved, that she wasn't really thinking the betterment of the girl, she was just thinking power. And it's like, well, then how are you better than the dark witches? You could have rescued these girls at any time and you chose not to. You chose to let them be abused, you know? And that just makes you as culpable. Like, your sorries mean nothing. You have, they go by, once they enter the coven, they kind of lose their identity and they're just called by their names. You know, you have Sagittarius and you have Aries. And you have Virgo. And I think that the rest of the characters are just done really, really well. Leo is a little, she's a little bit annoying at first. However, as the story develops and you learn more of her backstory, you understand her a little bit. That doesn't excuse her attitude, but she is very much a Leo. And my son's Leo. And my best friend is a Leo. So, I just loved seeing just how the characters grew and developed. I think the characterization was really probably the best part of the novel. Were all the characters likable? No, but they do grow. And even if you don't like them, you do grow to understand them, which I thought was really, really well done. So, honestly, really good book. Really enjoyed it. Thank you again to the publisher for sending me a copy of the book. I have really no complaints. I kind of want a sequel. I will say that ending was very open-ended. I'm just like, can I get a sequel? I need more. Because that ending was just kind of like, what? What? It was a little jaw-dropping, so I kind of want a sequel. I need things to be concluded. I just was like kind of gut-wrenching there. But it was still good, and I really enjoyed it. So, you know, thank you all for tuning in. Check it out, The 12. Thank you all for tuning in once again. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. Don't forget to share with all your bookish friends and like, subscribe, follow. Have a good rest of your day, and as always, happy reading.